Welcome back to another awesome episode of The Careful Boys, and we got Walter Hong in the house.
That groan.
I was in memory land.
All right, you know how like we usually talk about funny fuck times, right?
Funny fuck time.
But like right now, it's pretty wild, dude. Like war with Ukraine might be coming very soon. You know,
Have you
there's
heard
a
all
lot
the
of
shit where they're-
interesting stuff that's happening in the news.
Have you heard the perspective of like Russian people that think that it's fake?
Really?
That think that there's not really
No.
gonna be a war and that it's all just like this propaganda thing?
Whose perspective? Americans' perspective? Russians' perspective?
Russian people,
Russian people.
Russian citizens, like if the average Russian person on IG or whatever, like will
This is
comment.
bullshit.
Yeah, we'll comment and be like, don't believe that, guys. It's nothing.
Yeah, see, that's funny because in Korea or South Korea, I have to specify. South Korea, when they interview people, they're like, oh yeah, North Korea's not going to attack. They're not going to attack, but we think North Korea's going to attack.
Yeah.
In our perspective, right? And then I started thinking about this, and I was like, how do y'all know? You're not in the room where they decide these things. Like it's just, oh, this is the way I feel. No one cares how you feel.
Walter, they read the news though.
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah, they watch the news.
But then, doesn't it make sense though for your people, like in your country, to not get scared? Because all hell will break loose.
You gotta play cool, bro. You gotta
Right?
play cool.
If all South Koreans were like, oh fuck, North Korea's gonna invade again, fuck goddamn, they're not gonna be producing their Hyundais and shit. Like,
Everything would tank.
They can't
Everything.
make some Samsung, you know? They're too fucking
What are
wild.
Korean products? Go. Daewoo.
North Korea.
Can you fucking make K-pop if you were that scared? I don't think so. Every K-pop song would be like, they're coming for us. They're coming for us, you know?
But it would be catchy as fuck.
They're coming for us. They're coming for us. They're coming for us.
By the way, South Korean music videos are crazy. They're so good. They're the best music videos.
You know what K-pop capitalized on? Are two things that America left behind, that we left behind. One was the music video.
New outfits every
Outfits
5
too.
seconds.
I don't watch the outfits because I'm a dude, but unless they're sexy.
Yeah, me neither.
The other thing is CDs. They capitalize on CDs. Korea leads the world in CD sales.
They still use CDs?
Exactly, because what they do is they made it into a gift. Remember back then when they had CDs and then they had the gift CD with photos and stuff? That's the regular CD for K-pop.
Do they still burn CDs?
They do photos. They do like they have photo books.
So it's collectible.
Total collectible thing.
That's smart.
I'm not saying I have like one or
Every single
10 of them.
one?
Yeah, I'm not saying that.
Which ones do you have?
I'm not saying I have Blackpink,
HOT.
or Twice or whatever. I'm not saying I was at the Twice concert last night. I'm not saying that.
Good thing you're not saying that, Walter.
You're in the wrong room, brother. We're gonna kick your ass.
Kids collecting records today. You know, it's like, ooh, this old relic. Vinyl.
I don't know about kids is a strong word because I may or may not have them still wrapped in the plastic on display. I may or may not have that. I don't want to go one way or the other.
Okay, so I have a question for you. Hypothetically,
did a really good job on idolization.
Yeah.
Very.
hypothetically speaking,
Okay.
how much could you sell, a Blackpink album for?
Right now, not much.
Okay.
But
He's like, but I've been scouring the charts all day.
After World War III, though,
This is gonna be popping.
after World War III, and then it may or may not have my DNA on it.
Yeah,
You know
of
what I'm
course.
saying? It may or may not.
Would that make it more valuable?
I would assume. I would assume.
think so.
Ambiguous fan.
yeah.
Sounds like you hate this stuff, bro.
World-class Walter Hong that was on JK News
Yeah.
with his DNA
with my DNA.
on eBay.
Does that make it more
Crazy how
valuable?
the same thing that happens, every country and their media has a different perspective. I remember when we first went into Iraq, right? And it was us liberating them. And then I was at my Korean homie's house and then we're watching Korean news and it says US invades Iraq. You know, it's just so different.
You're
It's-
like, wait.
Yeah, it's just the perspective. It's
That's
completely
why
different.
it's
Yeah.
cool to read headlines, even just headlines. You don't have to read the whole. Like Al Jazeera, Reuters. Do I trust all of them? No, but at least you can see what their perspectives are.
The consensus is in
Yeah.
that country.
You know what blows my mind though is like when we were growing up, right? Conservatives, the GOP, they were the warmongering, war-loving, fucking Bush Senior, Bush Junior. Everybody was like, we need to fucking go and like preserve democracy. They always say that shit. We need to save democracy, right? And then, the Democrats were the anti-war. They were like, no, we can't fucking be doing this stuff, whatever. And then I was like, you know what? I think when Biden gets elected, like, I think we're gonna be either in a war or like it's gonna be this like scary, we might get into a war, right? And then everyone's like, no, because he's campaigning on like he actually campaigned on like more of a passive, progressive approach. And I was like, I don't think so, dude. He's establishment, man. I don't think he believes what he says. He's fucking bullshitting. And then here we are.
Yeah, for real.
Ukraine invasion to preserve democracy.
Are we invading for sure?
No. So
Isn't it all just supposed to be like a bluff? Like a
That's what I heard too.
Tulsi Gabbard say that like the way that it could all just be diffused is if America guarantees that Ukraine won't join NATO, but they're not doing that.
no, they're not going to do that. And the weird thing is the media's already priming the American public to believe that war is inevitable. So the Ukrainian president himself came out and said like, no, there's no, like, we don't even have any intentions of doing that, whatever. And then Russia was like, hey, you guys are violating our agreement that you're not gonna encroach on our border, because after the Cold War, so, you know, the Cold War was, Europe was kind of divided where you had the Eastern Bloc, which is like Latvia, Romania, all those Eastern European countries, like they were a part of the USSR. And then Germany was divided into two, right? And then when the USSR fell, all those countries became UN NATO countries, like Romania and whatever. Mm-hmm. Ukraine, it's not a NATO country. It's kind of right in the middle. And there was a war a couple of years ago, I think it was 2011 or something like that, a civil war. But that's because there was a lot of ethnic Russians on the east side, and also Russian sympathizers that wanted Ukraine to be a part of Russia.
Back with Russia.
Yeah, and then if you saw, like, there was a lot of fucking, like, videos that Vice did of on location, people fucking blasting each other up. It was nuts. So that kind of chilled out. And then so I think the western part of Ukraine wants to be a part of UN, NATO, and all that, but they can't actually ever be it because that would cause crazy tensions between the Western countries, and then Russia. So from Russia's perspective, it's like this: hey, we had an agreement, and now the U.S. is, during, I think it was Obama's administration, but he added missiles in some Eastern European countries. Yeah. He added missiles there, and he goes, "That's an act of kind of war, guys. Like you're bringing shit to us." And then while they were doing some military exercises or whatever, we started supplying Ukraine with U.S. military equipment.
That's how we do.
And whatever, right? And then so, and from Russia's perspective,
bring your own missile day.
That's an act of war, because it's like you guys are arming, So which is it? Is it? Are you coming here to, preserve democracy? Which, by the way, Ukraine is not very democratic at all.
For real, dude.
Like, they're completely corrupt. They're not a democratic country, like in the way that we feel like democracy should be upheld. They're fucking.
Which our democracy is perfect.
But what they'll do is
we love touting it.
The same thing we talk shit about Putin for, which like is they had some media agencies, like let's say if CBS was talking shit about Trump, right, and then Trump decides to destroy CBS
via Twitter.
Yeah, but basically
fake news.
Ukraine took down 3 news stations because of criticism. So they'll do crazy shit like that, and then so the West is backing up a country that we criticize Russia for. Yeah. So for me, this is my own theory, is that Hunter Biden has business relations in Ukraine. And so I think, Big Daddy Biden is, all he's doing is protecting his son's companies. So he's using the U.S. troops, but that's just my little conspiracy.
What kind of business do you think?
They sent 3,000.
Oh, the U.S. troops there.
So allegedly, there's like 60 to 70,000 Russian troops there.
I heard they're starting to pull some Russian troops.
That's what the statement was.
Yeah,
they're not.
That's what it is. It's like, which one is it?
Like, so Russia said we're going to move them, but then they're not. I think what they're doing is, honestly, when they say move, I think what they mean is that we're moving the guys on the left to the right, and the guys on the right to the left.
Oh my God!
That's my thing.
Switcheroo, dude.
My thing is
Don't worry, I'll move them.
Yeah.
Ta-da!
Yeah. So if they have 60,000 troops there, and we just said 3,000. Like, that's nothing. Yeah. Like, and they said they're paratroopers, but I don't care. 60,000.
We're like 300, dude.
I think ultimately it's also just like
catch me in the bottleneck.
A little bit of everybody doesn't want to go to war, And the best way to deflect the war is to show how like it's gonna we're gonna fuck you up.
Yeah, I'm so down to go to war,
like,
bro.
It's like, no, I don't want to fight you, but you know, if I do this, like honestly, you're all gonna die. So I'm gonna do it just to show you you're gonna die, but I don't want to fight you.
All right, then pull up. That's what we're doing.
And then you're like, dude, I'm not scared, so I'll respond like this, but I don't want to fight you.
Yeah.
But like, this is what we're gonna do if
game
you
of
do
chicken.
that. Yeah, it's just a constant game of chicken with probably a bunch of underlying conspiracy shit.
It would be nice if politicians just apologized.
Yeah, what happened to
Like, yo, my bad. Why did I put these guys over here? Let's take them out. And then the
my
other
bad.
guy's like, oh, we'll,
Politicians.
yeah, dude. We'll take our guys back. You guys take your guys back. But it's always like advancing on each other until fucking some conflict explodes.
I kind of like looked into that, right? Because I was like, all right, it doesn't make sense for us to get into World War III. It's bad business for everyone because Russia and China's like kind
much
of
trade.
handshaking, right? And then the other threat is Taiwan, right? Where Ni Hao wants to grab Taiwan.
Yeah, for real.
Ni Hao wants to grab Taiwan.
That's what we call them now.
Yeah.
That's what we call them.
But just
How do you say hi in Russian?
Fuck you.
hello.
Fuck you, Nia.
Oh wow. Today's video is brought to you by Curology. You might be wondering, is it the Asian skin that keeps us young? Well, partly maybe it's genetic, and I'm not even sure if we look that young, but I'm very proud of my skin when I see myself in the mirror because I've been working with Curology for the last 2 years, and they've been helping me get this on lock.
I've seen Asians that look like shit.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I think you did a really good job and looks really good.
Thank you.
I'm a big fan of their chapstick. It comes out in a little stick and it goes around my lips.
It's like a lightsaber. Very awesome.
Yeah, but they're really easy to use. You go online, there's a quiz, you fill out what your skin goals are. It could be acne, fine lines, clogged pores, whatever. You fill it out, and then a licensed dermatology provider will create a custom formula just for you so that it's made for you. You're not buying anything generic at the store, and you can have beautiful skin like Joe and me.
And it comes straight to your door when you order this subscription. And what's awesome is it also has a moisturizer and some face wash. And it's a super easy 3-step process. I do it in the shower. I just wash. When I get out, I put my formula on, and then I put the moisturizer on to block it all up. And then I'm ready to go to start the day.
So if you want to start a free 30-day trial, just go to Curology.com/offtherecord. All you have to do is pay $5 for the shipping, and that's a free 30-day trial. You can try for a whole month to see if it makes a big difference for you. Go to Curology.com/offtherecord. Just pay $5 for the shipping.
But if you think about it, nuclear war, all-out war with two big countries, like let's say US and China or whatever, it's actually not very profitable because the production stops. Where like, you know, China sells to our people. We need to manufacture in China. The whole world's connected. So they do these things called proxy wars, where it's like we'll fight in little countries. We'll make a little. We'll do it that way, right?
I'll meet you behind the classroom.
Like fucking.
The basketball courts, motherfucker.
Like fucking Syria, like fucking we'll fuck up these other countries
That's what they call the classroom? Fuck.
because it doesn't make money for us to fuck each other up. It's
like
each other as a big countries,
kind of deal.
But I also think
They have a poster and everything?
but I also think there's a relationship with keeping. So for example, North Korea the enemy, and for them to also stay there, and so what I looked into was how these companies like Raytheon and like all the
Boeing, Northrop Grumman.
yeah, so like the military industrial complex, they get money from the US taxpayers whenever shit hits the fan. So this is fucking crazy, but Russell Brand broke out this news. Out of all people, Russell fucking Brand, right? If you go on his channel, he'll basically have quotes from different contract companies that they were already like, the salesmen were fucking, they were celebrating because they're like, we're gonna make a fuck ton of money from Ukraine. They're caught quoting all this stuff. So
Damn.
If I was that
people are
industry,
like,
I would
how are we
too.
gonna make money off of Ukraine? Okay, so we don't make money, but Boeing does, Raytheon does, because what ends up happening is, all right, we need orders of missiles, we need orders of this and whatever, right? So then they put in those orders because we have a war coming. And then they send all the equipment there, or we sell it to Ukraine, and that's how a lot of this shit goes down. Because it's really robbing the taxpayer from fake threats. So I was like, that's fucking crazy.
It's evil genius for sure.
Yeah.
What do you think about like going back to what you were saying about how it's not profitable for our countries to be fighting with each other, Russia, China, US? What do you think about, there's a narrative going around that instead of doing it through proxy wars, they also do it through like misinformation through the
espionage,
that's
online.
classic.
That's been happening. Like Russia troll farms, all that stuff.
So what are Russian troll farms?
So Russian troll farms, and China does this too, and like also North Korea, they have some of the biggest hacker teams, government-funded hacker teams, and we have them too. But we've been doing this, but basically,
So it's okay because we started it.
We're pretty good. We're pretty good.
But they say that the World War III is not going to be a physical war, but an online war.
Ooh, metaverse.
TikTok. That's what they say.
Right?
Facebook.
TikTok, or can you imagine? TikTok.
They
That's like,
populate
that's like
our
going back to
feeds.
breakdancing or like this.
That's sick.
And the guy's like, oh yeah.
Yeah, you just got body. You just got body. You just got fucked up.
Dude, you're giving me PTSD remembering this shit, bro.
So we're gonna trust future wars of nerds, is what you're saying.
Basically, dude. But so
How it
this is the
should be.
scariest shit. There's an interview in the 80s of this KGB defector. He was a part of the Soviet Union. He came to the U.S. and they did a whole fucking interview. And he says that basically their strategy was like, yeah, the USSR is gonna fall, but not Russia. We're just gonna change the face of what Russia is. The way we're gonna attack America is not physically anymore. We're just gonna destroy it from the inside. We're gonna fund, like maybe people
Special
who feel
interest
like,
groups?
second-class citizens in America. Maybe people who's been like the minorities and who's
Turn
been
America on itself,
right?
yeah.
And then so socialist
It's working.
programs.
Fucking yeah, honestly,
Yeah.
it is working.
Russians are good.
They'll fund all the people who America's been abandoning
Probably the
or
most
beating.
unpatriotic era. Like
Exactly.
real, huh?
Like when has it ever been this
Yeah.
hateful to
Like if
itself?
you have a flag up of the U.S. flag, people kind of look at it as like, oh, you're kind of
People are scared to fucking wait. They're like, I'm gonna fucking take mine down.
At least in California.
Home invaders look at the American flag as, oh, the house has guns.
Yeah. Let's leave.
No, actually, they'll rob it first because to get the guns.
Oh, and then they have weapons. Oh shit. That's actually
Oh, that's not nice.
So if you have a sign that says "owner will shoot," they go, maybe I can steal that from him.
Yeah.
Because they want guns.
That's crazy.
Okay. So my DA friend told me, like, if you have an American flag, yeah, obviously it's patriotic, it's cool, but that's a signal for home invaders that, oh, they have guns. So let's.
Oh,
for real. Oh,
I'm gonna put a flag on your house if they break into your house.
I know.
And they're gonna be like, "Where's the guns? There's nothing here."
And you're just like there naked, like, haha, joke's on you.
Right here, dude. Right here.
He has an ADT sign. There's something to protect in there.
I need to get one of those signs to put outside of my house.
I have one.
Yeah?
I haven't put it up.
Do you
yet.
have ADT?
No.
You could buy
You got
like
the
fake
sign.
ones on Amazon.
One of my houses had ADT. The tenant had ADT, and they left them. So I took them.
He took the sign and he
The
put it.
sign, and so I'm gonna put it in my place. Yeah.
He has Brinks ADT.
I also ordered the fake ones to my house before too when I was living in Alhambra.
Just in case, man.
Just get a bunch of cameras and then never get the service because you don't want to pay the monthly fee.
Or you get the big sign that says "Smile, you're on camera."
Oh yeah, those are good.
Or beware of dog, even though there's no dog.
That's what I have. I have a bunch of beware of dog ones, and then one time the postmate was like standing on the other side of the gate. I was like, dude, you just come in. He's like, don't you have a dog?
Yeah, my dog.
You need to have all those signs. Beware a dog, owner will shoot,
Yeah.
American flag, and then just barbed wire, and then big cameras, smile, you're on camera.
I think what would be scary is if like just owner is naked.
Dude,
Like
At all times.
Yeah, all the time.
Or just
the
like
picture-
smile, you're on
picture-
camera. By the way, I'm mentally ill.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I can suck my own penis. And like,
Dude, if you can suck your own penis, I'm gonna go through that door.
That's
I'm gonna
what I'm
break
saying,
in.
yeah, that
I'm
would
gonna be a
scare people.
peeping Tom. I'm gonna through the window.
You should get a naked graphic of you just laying like that, and it says enter at your own risk.
If you want to be seduced, come on in. Come on in.
and then single and ready to mingle.
Talking about making America implode from the inside out, I was watching one of the episodes of on Andrew Schultz's podcast, and he was talking about
That's our competitor, bro. Don't
how
bring his name up.
no, he's talking about on TikTok how the algorithm here favors stupidity.
Yeah.
Right. So the more you dance, the more views you get. But then the one in China, it's more intelligent stuff. It's
like engineering.
So it's like the smarter they'll make the
Agriculture.
youth, they'll make the youth smarter and more productive. and so it reinforces that. Versus on ours, it's the more dumb and more
Clown you are.
It's working, god damn it.
an implosion.
That's why we need to make educational content.
Yeah.
That's not misinformation.
Because the thing with that when I heard that
bothers me
thing
so
too
much.
is that, and then with the
Crazy?
Russia's imploding America from the inside, is that when you say those theories, the average American be like, who can think that far ahead? Who's that smart? Because they're not understanding that the difference between professional athletes and us people is vast.
Yeah.
The difference between professional schemers and like those guys that topple governments is so vastly different than us. Like we think, like our politicians are so stupid they can't do anything. No, they know exactly what they're doing. Yeah, they want us to think that they're stupid, so they can go blindly and hidden in plain sight and make all this money.
I would even say that
10 million views right there.
That's the clip
the
art, dude.
schemers, the difference between the schemers and us is even greater than athletes and us.
Oh yeah.
The guys that have started like the CIA and like special
They're
operational,
crazy.
It's been like that since World War II, and they keep reinventing and modernizing and developing it. Versus the top athlete, it's like the growth is still like this, right? It's like the Michael Jordan of yesterday might be only a little bit not as good as maybe like LeBron if they played modern basketball, right? But the technology and the tactics, it's like fucking like exponential.
I mean, look at the old days when they talk about like in Japan, and I think Korea did this as well, probably China as well, is when they would use body doubles.
Oh yeah.
When they went out, because back then there's no photos, there's no internet. So if they're like, and back then you never saw the emperor in Japan, you never saw the leaders in China or Korea, you never saw the kings.
Unless photos came out.
But before photos, you never saw them because they stayed in their palaces. Yeah. So if they said, Joe's the emperor, but then they presented me, they'll believe I'm the emperor and they'll try to kill me.
Yeah.
And so that logic and that scheme right there. To know that the people would buy this is amazing. Yeah. And then those same people, they train their mentees under them, and they train their mentees.
And now they're better than they are.
And then now, with today's technology and today's time, they're so much better at. They can walk into a room and they'll just know like, oh, you're like this, you're like that, you're like this. I know I can get away from all these people. Whereas we walk into a room and we're just like, oh, like Filipino, Japanese, Chinese. That's all we see. Yeah, that's all we see. And then we think we're smart. We think we're smart.
Bunted guy over there.
Those guys though, they know. They walk into a room, they know.
For the win.
Dude, have you seen Facebook Dilemma? It's crazy, right? So in there, they showed how a Russian troll farm created 2 Facebook groups, right? One was like more like radical Muslim, and one was like a right-wing nationalist, more like alt-right, right? And then they decided to protest on the same day in like Houston or some Texas city. And so they wanted to organize some type of fight to go down. So they infiltrated so many Facebook groups and they pretended to be Americans to cause shit. And then they do this in the comments. They do this on Instagram comments everywhere. So you don't know if it's a China bot, a Russian bot. Yeah. You don't know if it's like a troll that's just paid salary to come in and to create hate and violence
society.
and fight.
What a great job.
It's crazy.
Just to start internet shit with everybody.
And then like, I don't know if you guys saw this. I think it was like last year or the year before. Google can do an automated voice that sounds just like a human. Yeah. And so to test it, they ordered a pizza. And no one knew that it was a fake voice. Wow. So the people, allegedly people within Google, and like when they got let out, people were complaining like, "Hey, you can't do that."
Yeah, it needs to be identifiably a robot.
Can't have a cheese pizza.
Oh my god, this technology is amazing.
That's a real guy.
So other countries already have this technology. Yeah. They've already got it. They probably stole it or they made it themselves. Yeah. So now, if they're like, "Oh, these are just bots typing," but if you put a voice to it, then it's like, oh, this is a real person now. Yeah. So imagine like in the metaverse, if someone's just like organizing, like this is a real person because listen to them talk. This is an actual person. Now we're putting a voice to these people,
and they're hot.
Yeah, and they have pixel boobs.
Damn, thick in the right places.
Pixel boobs get your boy going.
America and extra cheese, please.